Hi, I'm Rick Schisler. This is the second in a series of video casts that I'm bringing to you from onebestconsult.com, our website where we put together all the information we offer our clients regarding our small business advising and mentoring services. My purpose in this video cast is to talk to you just for a moment today about communication. This is a topic that we've been working on around here for almost a month. We've blogged a number of times about it. We've had some video cast, our initial video cast. We've had some podcast, and we've also had some guests on our radio show, the Weekly Business Hour, who have talked about this topic as well. But today, I want to kind of give you, if you're in a hurry and you don't have time to check out those resources, give you 3 key points that I encourage you in your business, and this is any business that you would take into consideration regarding communications. The first is stop and take an inventory. Take stock of what you are currently doing for communications. And when I talk about communications, I'm talking about the communications between you and your employees, you and your customers, and you and your vendors. This is what I talk about business communications, because they're all 3 of these combined together determine to a great deal how successful your business can be. Because you can have the best product, the best services, the best people, but if you don't communicate with people about it, you don't communicate to customers, potential customers, or you don't talk to vendors and get the right vendors and get the right service from your vendors, then it all goes for naught. And I'm sure that's obvious to most of you. But take stock of your communication tools. I'm talking about your phone, your cell phone, your computer systems, your email, your text, whatever forms of technology you use to communicate with what I call your business team. Again, business team being your employees, your customers, and your vendors. See what you use currently and just take a few moments on each one. Write them down on a piece of paper. I encourage you to type them into your computer or your iPad and just consider how you're using that particular tool. The second thing is to take a look at your industry for a moment and look at the industry, in particular competitors, if you can, and think about how they are communicating. See if they're doing anything that's different in order to communicate. One example would be if you have someone make an inquiry, say through your website, and I'm not necessarily talking about a website where you do e-commerce, but just making an inquiry. It could be a prospective customer. How do you respond to that? Do you have some automatic responses on your website, or do you have to manually respond? Who does it? What time frame do you require that it be responded to? This is a form of communication. And so many times when I go into a small business, I find that they are not really effectively utilizing or maximizing the tools they currently have. And the second thing I find is they have competition, or the industry itself, or just business in general. There's a tool available. Sometimes it's a software tool, a particular tool. It may be an app that could be on a cell phone that could help their business immensely. Help their customers communicate with them, help their salespeople communicate with the office more efficiently. There are a lot of opportunities to improve and upgrade your communications. And the third thing, and I just finished a blog earlier this week about this, is the consideration to use an outside consultant. Many times as business owners, as I have been in my past, we just don't simply have the time or the inclination to really dig deep into technology, to dig deep in these communication resources. And we need to bring someone to the table, maybe more than one. A lot of times your IT provider, the company that provides you with the IT services, can at very least give you information, provide you with ideas, make suggestions of how to improve that core, that IT core, which is the core of your communication systems in today's world, and make it more effective. And a lot of times I've found, or at least sometimes, your IT companies understand things like telephone systems, cell phones. They understand email. They understand texting. They're involved in apps, because they're really not an IT company. They're really a communications company connecting all aspects and all the tools of communications. So check with them. If you have a regular IT service provider, talk to them. If they do a good job and you trust them, why not? If not, you have to be willing to go find someone who's more of a generalist, and they're out there. Check with your accountant, check with your attorney, check with some of your vendors. Find someone that you trust and bring them in, and there's a whole vetting process that we address in my most recent blog about finding the right technical advisor. You'll find that blog posted on onebestconsult.com. So my encouragement, and I really look at these videocasts as the podcast, at everything I do as an encouragement to you, is to take a look at onebestconsult.com. It will give you some guidance, and then you can follow through at your pace, at your timeline, and you can improve your business. And in this case, communications. It's a critical foundation of any successful business. One last encouragement, email me. Email me at that's the number 1, bestconsult@gmail. If you have a question about this videocast or anything we do here at One Best Consult. I really enjoy getting those emails. I have a lot of experience, over 40 years in working in the small business world. I started or bought and then built 5 separate businesses, which I later sold at different times during my career. I understand how to build a small business, and I want to share with you what I call my common sense experience. So stay tuned. We'll be following up with a video cast, typically at least once a week. We have podcast, as I mentioned, radio show, the Weekly Business Hour. You can find that online at irlonestar.com if you want to listen live, or we podcast it. It's available on YouTube under the channel for the Weekly Business Hour, or on Facebook, the Weekly Business Hour page, which you can like and get copies of that show each and every week. Thanks for taking time to listen today, and always remember, One Best Consult is there to offer you common sense experience. Thanks.